channel. Today I have another journal to share with you. I've been working a lot with my paper crafts and journal making lately, and this is just a small journal that I put together in between a couple bigger projects that I needed a little bit of a break on. So this is just my little Dusty Rose journal, and she's made with a lot of vintage items, fabrics, lace, papers, and a lot of coffee dyed papers. And then we've got some little beads hanging off here. This is the front, and we do have the metal corners all around. Oh, and this is just over 3.5 by 6 inches, and then just over a 1-inch spine here. And then I love the back plain with just the fabric showing here. And then we've got a little ribbon to wrap around. And this just kind of tucks in the side. At the end of the ribbon, I added this adorable, if I can get it out of there, there we go. And that's just attached to the cover with an eyelet there. I added this beautiful little heart locket. This is from something that I've had since I was a child. So this is, I'd say, fairly old, not really old. I'm not really old, but you could tuck a little treasure in there, some little photos, or whatever you would like. And then we've got the nice eyelet lace here on the side. And then the little journal plaque that I made myself, just some stamping and cut that out. And then some cheesecloth here. This is just some really old cheesecloth that I found in a drawer, and we're using it for crafting now because I don't really want to use it for food anymore. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and open this up here. So here we go. This is the front page, and this is from a vintage poetry book here. And then this is just a little tuck spot here. And I made a little envelope out of some coffee dyed vellum. And I tucked some vintage stamps in here just to play with or collage with. Whatever you would like to do with them in the journal. And that just kind of tucks under that spot there. And then flipping through the pages here, got some vintage music paper, a little cluster here with a vintage button, a vintage dictionary page, and then I made a little belly band with this kind of floral paper. And this is some vintage wrapping paper that I've had for quite a while. It's got lilacs on it, and I'm not sure what the other little flowers are. I think they're just blown up images of the smaller flowers off the lilac. But this is definitely got some discoloration to it, but I thought it was really cool, really pretty, and I still use it for wrapping. And then just a little coffee dyed note paper there. Those are just tucked under there. And then this is some coffee dyed tracing paper with some lace on the edge there. And then we've just got an embellished paper clip with some ribbon here, and this is from a vintage bird book. A little bit of stamping, some vintage graph paper, and then I did a little tuck spot on this page, and I put a authentic vintage black and white photo in there of these 3 sharp dressed men. And this is from, I'm assuming that's the date, 48. And this paper actually came from a, I believe it's a Japanese book about vintage American fabrics. So it's all prints of vintage American fabrics. Some more vintage music paper. This is a blank page from a vintage book. Actually, that might have been, was almost antique, but you can see the torn edges up there. And then I just kind of ruffled some lace here. This is from a vintage children's music book. Some stamping on that one. And then here's some more of that beautiful floral paper. Coffee dyed papers, and I just did some cutouts there with a punch. Paper doily, more of that coffee dyed vellum, little butterfly embellishment there. Vintage book page, and it's been reinforced here with some washi because this is a little on the brittle side. It's thicker, definitely thicker, but it's still on the brittle side. And then the center here has the, they're all tangled. There we go. Just has some little beads dangling off there that I thought were pretty and go with the overall aesthetic of this journal. Just some coffee dyed lined paper, some more of the lace punch, some stamping there, line stamping, little fold out here, the other side of that music paper with some vintage currency from British Armed Forces, £1. Little pocket here, and into this pocket I put, this is just a page from a vintage Spanish book, college Spanish book. And there is some pencil writing on there from the original owner that was studying their Spanish. And then there's also this little note page from a vintage camera guarantee here, like a warranty. A little tuck spot here, corner, and I just thought that this was cool. This is just from the Vintage Dictionary, and it's just all about passports. Some more lace trim here, vintage lace there, some stamping. There's another little tuck spot, and I just put in a vintage wine label. Looks like it was a cider. It's a vintage French wine label. And then this is just another embellished paperclip, and then just a handmade tag with some scrapbooking paper and some of the fabric scraps from the cover. Stamping there. And then this is the second signature. This is from a little vintage book. And this is another just fabric embellished paperclip, and I have tucked in here a map from a vintage atlas. That was actually my grandfather's, and it is falling to pieces. So I included the map of Europe in here. I've just folded that up and tucked it in here. Some more of the line stamping, some more lace, some more of that vintage graph paper, and a little bit of stamping down there. Eyelet lace, and this is a vintage book page. I believe this is from the Englishman's Countryside, and it's just got some beautiful prints in it. Coffee dyed paper. This is a very interesting textured paper because it's a little rough on the back, and then it's almost waxy on this side. And this, I just found this. This was actually the first page in that vintage American fabric print book. And I just really liked the textures on this paper. This is more vintage dictionary page that I tea-dyed to make it look even older. And just a little cluster up here in the corner. Just some sewing on this page and some stamping. Some more of that tracing paper, some coffee dyed ledger. Here's another little pocket, and I put a page from Gothic Steamboat, I believe. This is a vintage book, and this is the first page, and it was about American steamboats, and I just really loved the printing right here, and I like that it almost looks like it's a little crooked. It's just a little lace flip on one of the color pages from that Englishman's Countryside book. And the center here. And then we've got some more of those beads, stamping. And then here's a little pocket out of that coffee dyed vellum that I sewed to this page. And we've got a apothecary label, vanilla tincture. This is authentic ephemera, vintage ephemera. And a tobacco card, Will's cigarettes. And this is Campanula, little flower. It's very, very pretty. And then this I cut out of a vintage gardening book, and I just really liked the quote, is "Who knows not roses, knows not beauty's smile. Romance hath spurned him, poetry passed him by." And that was an anonymous quote. So there's two pockets there. Some more ledger, some more tracing paper with stamping on it. Some more vintage dictionary page, and I did some lace punching on the outside of that one. There's the other side of that really interesting textured paper. There's a little tuck spot in the corner here with a little cluster and vintage button. And then this is just a little bookmark that I made with some ribbon on it, and the definition of journal from one of my vintage dictionaries. Just some ephemera embellishment there, some punch outs, some more stamping, more music paper. There's a little pocket here on the side, and I just tucked in some extra little papers, and this is just some coffee dyed, regular coffee dyed paper, and some coffee dyed yellow legal paper. And I just did a little cluster here and a torn part of that vintage dictionary. And then in the back here, I added a extra little notebook, and I just did a little belly band here. And I made this little notebook, and it's just got some little scrap pieces of some of my coffee dyed paper and graph paper and some of that flower pressed paper. And that just slides right in there. And that is it. She will be for sale on my Etsy page. Just close it like that. Tuck your little heart down in there, and you're good to go. And this is perfect for travel size or whatever you would like to do. Lots of writing room and little tuck spots and pockets to put things in. Yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment below if you liked this, and if you'd like to see more, like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and stay tuned for more journal videos, because they are coming, because I am